So hello everybody, this is Francesco, I'm a 3D artist, and today I'm gonna show you how to link a light setup from one blend file to another, and generally to all the blended file that you want. This is very useful in case you have a production when you have many people working at the same project, and you want that the light setup, you have a specific light artist and you want that the light setup he creates is being updated on all the files that are on the computer of all the artists, because sometimes you are not working on the same computer all the time. Everybody works at his workstation, everybody working in this location or around the world, but we want to keep it tidy, we want to keep the production consistent, so this is how you do. I'm working on Blender 2.1, but it works basically the same in all the version of Blender, at least until 2.79. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete everything. I select everything with A and I delete with X. I work with shortcut, so I'm gonna tell you while I use them. Shift A, open the menu to open the light to add, and I select add and I take a spotlight. I rotate it with R, and then I create another with Shift D, but yeah, this thing, if you are here watching this tutorial, you probably know this shortcut. Now let's say this is a really basic light setup, and I want also to add a word. So I go to here, use node, and environment texture, open, and I select, you can add to favorite. I add my HDRI and light setup to my favorite, so open image. Now if I add a cube, just to check that everything works, render mode in Eevee, and it's worked pretty much. Now maybe this light is not super powerful, let's see, it's not giving too much, so let's increase the power. Seems not to work, but it's maybe because the light outside is really powerful. Let's give an unbelievable number. Et voila, you see that it show up. Setting of the light in cycle and Eevee has some time difference. So you increase the number until you see something happen. Okay, so now that you created a basic light setup and we see that it works, we save the file. I save it as light setup. Save as light setup. So now I have my Blender, which is light setup, and now I open another instance of Blender. I delete everything again. File, I save it as first time, and I call it instance, no, project one. That means here I will have my modeling, I will have my environment, I will have everything. Everything but the light, because there will be somebody else, the light artist or me, having a master light set up to then instance every time to all my single files, because maybe I'm doing architecture or product visualization where I need a different model, and but all with the same light setup. And if it's really HD, the model high poly can be really big, and if I load everything in a single file, then it gets complicated, it gets long to load. So I create basically one instance for every single product or every single scene of my, if I'm working to for example to a series of cartoons, I might have the same room, but every time in the same room happens something different. So I want my light setup, and also for all the rest of the of the environment, it will be the same. What I'm gonna do now, it's really easy. I want to first import the word. Here, as you see, I have my word, which is the standard, the basic that you open. I go here and I select link. You have two options, link and append. With append, you basically import once exactly what is in the other file, but then if you modify the original file, this doesn't get modified. With link, yes, it creates like a live link, and so every time that you would modify the original file, it will be updated to the new one. So I link, I enter inside Word, and I link my word. Now it will be available here, word light setup. If I see it's the same HDRI, it's the same environment texture that I put. Let's now make a transparent. It's still there. Let's add a cube, and we see that is no longer the gray environment, but it's exactly like the same that we had in previous. Now I want to import the light setup. I can go on and link instead of the word the lights one by one, but this would mean that every time I need to refresh the link, I need to go inside of the blend file, look if there is any change, upload everything, and this is not really handy because I want it to be all automatic. Like I want that really light artist do his stuff, I open and it's automatic. So what I do, this is something how the light artist should organize his own file. I go here basically and I select my everything regarding my lights. I push M to move to a collection. I choose new collection, and I call it, for example, light setup. Any name is good, really. Light setup just to keep it tidy. And you see it now. I have a collection with the cube and a collection with the light setup. I save because the linking works only when the file is saved. It's written, so now I can go and read it from another source. I save. I go to my file where I want to link the project one. File, link, and now here instead of going to light, I go to collection, and I have my two collection. I cannot open each, but as you see, it's been added, and I cannot really touch it. I can move it around, but I cannot edit what's inside. This is also really good because sometimes many people working in the same project, we don't really know what the other person. There could be something hidden, not visible. There could be something that I touched by mistake because I simply a light setup for a real project. It's way more complicated of these than this. You can have tent of light and with really precise setup. If you have especially if you have product visualization, the light setup is really important. And like this, we know that we cannot really modify inside. And to add another level, I can go selectable, for example, and I click that it's not selectable. Now, as you see, it's still here. It's not really mega visible, I guess, but if I put this, you see, but I can no longer select. That is the maximum protection that you really can give to what you have linked. So now you know that the light setup, the work of the light artist will be there. You cannot modify by mistake, and in any case, you can always reactivate it from here, and you will be able to select, because sometimes maybe you want to animate because sometimes scenes are more easy if it looks like everything is moving and the camera is still. But for example, you want the camera to move and everything is still because it's simply easier to animate. That means that if you want to give the impression that everything is still, you have to, for example, parent the lights to the camera to have always the same relative light setup, because finally it's what we are interested of is how those lights then are bounced to get back to the camera. So like this, yes, you can be free of animated or non-animated. You can also select parent to anything. Can be anything. Can be the camera, can be an object, and then you go again to not selectable. This is an extra step just to avoid any mistake, because think about a production. If you have 2 or 3 people working on the same thing, then accumulate the possibility of doing some little mistakes, something that you just don't know that there is there. Now, let's say that I want to organize the light setup also in different folder, having different options, or voilà, the light artist from some reason want to organize, for example, all the spotlight in a folder, just to, because you work better if you organize better, if you organize good the outliner, if you organize good here, all the work will be easier. Also because using instances is really something that save life. Instances as this. Like it's something linked for all the same file or another file, and they are there. They are exactly what you program. You can have 10. You can multiply these many times and it will be always the same copy, and it's really useful. It's really useful. So now let's go to the original file and let's do something. I want also a sun, Shift A, sun, and I put it like this. Now I'm going completely random, but it's completely random but not really completely random. You have a dominant light and 2 minor lights from the back. If you put the camera around this view, you will have these 2 lights giving a bit the silhouette enhancing, especially if you put some bevel here. It will create silhouette, and with these you will make sure that what you are showing is readable. And I want to keep them tidy and separated, or for any reason, so I put it in a new collection, sun, and I put this collection inside the new collection. Why this? Well, I explained the reason, but I'm demonstrating you now that if you create also sub-collection, because you link the light setup collection, not the sun collection. Okay, now I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it also this one, which is my project, and I'm gonna open recent, and I'm gonna open exactly this one. Okay, and you see that it's been updated. There is this sun now, which was a add from before. Now still I cannot, here it's not visible that the sun is in a sub collection. It's like a closed box. You cannot open from here. There are some, let's see if it works. If I make local everything, this should be, I never tried, but let's see. No, not even like this. Normally this should do a lot of things, but yeah, you cannot really touch it, and it's good. It's good because like this, if you need access to the original light setup, you will have access. Don't, it's not really not really, there is no reason to worry about this. Like this, you're sure that exactly what the light artist made, you would have. Let's see, for example, if I want to link the subfolder, yes, I could link also the sun alone. But if I link the light setup, which, as we saw, contain also the sun, it basically is a Matryoshka effect. I link the root and all the branches are linked. Now, just for experiment, I haven't tried that, but I think it's a good one. We delete everything and we try to select, to link the original one, light setup. Now there are two possibilities. Or it links light setup plus sun, or only light setup without sun. But I think it's gonna link also all the branches. And it is. Exactly. So, in any moment you link the file, you link just the root, which is my light setup collection, and it links all the subfolders, the collection. And once you linked, you save, you close, and you don't have to worry anymore about relinking, because now I double my sun just because I live in a planet with two suns, and this I double also this because it's a really weird lit room like this. Let's say it's a diamond or something precious here that you need a lot of source of light. It's something glass or glossy that with refraction, and with this light setup is not the best, but it can give a lot. So now I save it again. We see that everything, we check that everything is inside the light setup collection. Now I open again my instance of Blender. I open recent project 1, and voila, I have again my light setup, and it's updated to the last save of my light setup. Now you can have some combo. If you have, for example, some folder that are automatically updated from a cloud, then you can link you can link basically from the you can have your blend file, what need to be linked in there, for example light setup file there, and once the light artist from his location will push the new light setup, and the cloud service will automatically, or you will manually download the last version of everything. Once it will be automatically re-uploaded and reset to the last setting, and you don't have to look for it anymore. You link it once, and you don't have to download manually anything anymore, unless you decide you set the cloud sync to be only manual. But if you keep it automatic, basically you have an unbelievable powerful tool. This is unbelievably powerful. With my team, we work with files from 1-2 gigabyte, which, yeah, you may say with a fast connection it's not much. It doesn't take a lot, but if you put several of these at the same time, if I have to every time to upload 2 gigabyte of file to send to the light artist, and then the light artist have to work for 1 hour, then send me back, well, you lost 2 hours. Just for synchronizing the light setup, and it will be always it can generate some bug in the production, like for example you didn't send exactly the last version of the project you were working to. This is something that might happen because we are human, and it's normal when you have 13 20 30, 40 instances of the same file, one after the other, because you don't want to lose the previous stages, because yeah, until the production is finished, maybe it's better to keep the backup. Then if you have to send, and if you didn't send the last version, and then you have the light setup of the 2 hours of work of the light setup artist, and then you have to contact the light artist to ask can you please send me again the light artist, and easily days are burned like this. While with this method, it's instant and automatic, and this is all within Blender, within the built-in tools and functionalities. This means that this is given for free. It's an awesome tool. It's really, really, really great. So thank you everybody for getting here, and thank you for watching this tutorial. I wish a beautiful day to everybody, and happy blending.